Hi, I'm Susan Tomasich. I'm here today with Tony McNeil.
That's right, I'm Tony.
He is the local project manager for Samaritans Purse. I'm here today to find out a little bit more about Samaritans Purse, how you came to find us, and what you hope to accomplish before you leave. So welcome to Calaveras County.
Thank you very much. We're very blessed to be here. We do monitor these storms. Calaveras County the Butte Fire, of course, was on our radar to look at. Our international headquarters back in North Carolina, Boone, North Carolina, and I was sent here to assess to see if there was something we could do. Didn't take long when we got on the ground to realize that there was a significant need. So Samaritans Purse did deploy 2 disaster relief units, our 53-foot trailers and all the equipment necessary to run those, one here for the Butte Fire and one for the Valley Fire. So we come in here and we're wanting to assist the homeowners, sifting through the debris, seeing what has survived the fire. We partner with local churches. The San Andreas Community Covenant Church here has been so gracious. They opened their doors. We're set up here. This is where we're at in San Andreas, and we're reaching out to the community from here.
Now, I understand there's a story behind you finding this church. Do you want to relay that to us?
There really is. It's kind of a God moment that we all have in time, and myself and a chaplain coordinator was here in San Andreas, and we knew that we were looking for a place to stay, and our office is very good to help us locate churches. I was coming down the road and looked, and there was a huge cross in the sky. And I told him, I said, "Wow, did you see that?" And he said, "Yeah, where's the cross? And where's the church?" I pulled a U-turn down the road and came back, and that's how we found the Covenant Church. And if you look back and notice, there's no big cross above this church, so we know it's a signal for us that God wanted us to be here, and they opened their doors to us and welcomed us in, so we're very blessed.
Wonderful. That's an amazing story, actually.
It really is.
It is. So we saw that on the side of your vehicle it says number 4, and we're wondering how many units you have and where the rest of the units are going out across the country. How does all that work?
We are very blessed. We do have 5 of these units. There's 5 program managers like myself that cover the United States. So at any given time, we can deploy those 5 units at 5 different locations. All the equipment that you see that we bring with us, we have that in multiples of 5. So whatever the storm is, or whether it's fire, flood, tornado, hurricane, whatever that disaster is, we can deploy 5 units to that and be fully equipped.
Okay. What's the criteria for you having decided to come to this fire? There's a lot of disasters all over the United States going on at any one time. So what criteria did you use to decide that this was the place you needed to be?
Well, of course, there's a lot of factors that goes from disaster to disaster. But of course, here with the 475 homes, the official number that they're giving being destroyed, we knew there was significant need here. So that was a very easy decision to make. We knew that the 475 homeowners needed assistance.
Great. Now, we've been talking over the last couple days, so I understand that you, your mechanic, and your driver are the only paid employees that are here. Everyone else is a volunteer. The volunteers are coming from all over the country, and we thank them because we appreciate all the help that you're giving us. Can you let me know how do you volunteer for this program, this project? What can we do on a local level with local volunteers? What are the parameters?
Very simple way to volunteer with us. If you'd like, you can go to spvolunteernetwork.org. You can sign up there to register as a day volunteer. Come any day you would like to do that. We do, if you live far enough away that you need to be in-house, we do require that that's a venting process through our home office, but you register for that online as well if you wish to be an overnight volunteer. Or you can simply show up here at the church at our disaster relief unit and our volunteer check-in sign. Any morning at 7:30, we have orientation every morning, Monday through Saturday at 7:30 a.m. They can come in, fill out a volunteer form, go through orientation, a safety briefing. They'll be assigned to an experienced team leader, be placed on a team, and put out to work.
Great. I also noticed that you have your own cooking facilities. This is like a traveling village, basically. So can you tell me a little bit more about that and the organization of it?
Yes, we are fully self-contained. The only thing that we require is a church to welcome us in, open their arms to us, and have us a place to sleep. We do sleep in the Sunday school rooms. We take over with that stuff. But we do have our kitchen trailer. Our cooks are volunteers. We order the food in locally. We have our shower trailer for our volunteers here that house with us to use showers. We feed them the breakfast meal, the dinner meal are extremely good hot meals, and then we provide them with a pack-out lunch as well. Now the day volunteers will need to bring them a bag lunch because we don't have the means to do that. So if they come and volunteer for the day, please bring a lunch.
All right. I did sit through your volunteer orientation yesterday, which I found very fascinating. And one of the things I was really impressed with is the care that is being taken with the donations. So my takeaway from the orientation is that you've been given a lot of donations, both cash donations, material donations like water, things like that. And the thing that impressed me was the care that was impressed upon the volunteers to take of those donations. So if you want a bottle of water, that's great, but please drink it. Please put the recycles in the recycles. Would you like to comment on that?
I sure would. We are good stewards of what the Lord provides us. So make one thing, we do not take cash donations on site. We do not. You'll never hear us ask for a cash donation. We are blessed. We have the water donated and the Gatorade donated to us, if it's available. If it's not, then we purchase that as well. But everything that you see, all of our equipment, everything it takes to operate is 100% donor supported, and we do take that very seriously. We want them to know that we're being good stewards of what they provide, and we're doing with that money what they would want us to do.
Great. Another one of the things that I took away from the orientation, which I am so glad that I went, in fact, being in the orientation, going out on the work site yesterday, I will be one morning. I'll come and volunteer for a morning. I don't do heat well, so I will do mornings so that I don't end up being a liability. But I was very impressed yesterday out at the work site, seeing the Tyvek suits, the concern about safety, and how well you are taking care of the volunteers. So let's talk about that for a minute.
Absolutely. Our number one priority for our volunteers is, of course, safety. We want them to come. We want them to do what God has pressed upon their heart. They want to come and be a blessing to the homeowner, and they are, but they're a blessing to us. We can't do what we do without them. Their health is very important, so we do provide all personal protective equipment to them. At this site, we are wearing full Tyvek suits, our N95 masks, eye protection, and gloves for that, so that way we're trying to keep them as safe as possible.
And that, I understand, is because the county has declared each of these home sites a hazardous site, basically. Is that correct?
They do consider each site as a hazmat site, which is, we're used to dealing with that because, in all honesty, we don't know what's in our homes. Any of us don't know what's in our homes. So yes, we do, at the suggestion of the local officials, if they request that we wear a particular piece of personal protective equipment, we do honor that as well. But even without their recommendation, Samaritans Purse takes steps to ensure their safety.
All right, and then let's talk about operating in California, let's say. California is a little more hypervigilant about hazmat and the environment than some of the other states in the union. So have you found that to be somewhat of a limitation to what you normally do? And I fully understand that you are following all the local requests of how you operate. So let's talk about that.
Actually, you know, people might think it limits us. It does not. We are used to working well with local, state, and government officials. Our number one desire is what we want people to know is that we're there for that homeowner. We're there to help them, come alongside them, tell them there's hope, and most importantly, letting them know God loves them. He hasn't forgotten them, and we came 3,000 miles from North Carolina to organize this to let them know that.
That is a really important part of the mission as I see it. Yesterday when we were on site talking to the homeowner, his comment was, I came back after the fire, I looked around, and quite frankly, I had no idea where to start. And right now, Samaritans Purse has helped me come in and just figure out how to deal with this. So it was very important. That's a very important part of what you're doing here, is supporting the homeowner.
That is correct. We're there for that listening ear. We're there for a shoulder to cry on. We're there to do what we can. And as far as we're working with the government officials, just so to clear it up if your listeners want to know, what Samaritans Purse is doing, we are sifting, looking for personal property. We do not do or provide any haul service, never have. On any job sites, any disaster site, we do not haul debris. So at this site, what we're doing is simply removing the heavy metals from the place that the homeowner is wanting us to sift, easily moving that over to where we can sift that spot, sift that for that personal property, and leave that footprint at the suggestion of the county and state officials. We're also doing our best to inform the public of what the county and state officials are wanting them to do, funneling them into their program, because they do have a program in place for that. So Samaritan's Purse, we come in, we do what we do, but our number one priority is to come alongside that homeowner, provide them some hope, and we let them know that, hey, there is hope and God loves you, and that's why we're here.
Okay, so I think we have a couple more important points we need to make. If I'm a homeowner, how do I reach out to Samaritan's Purse and ask for your help?
Samaritan's Purse, there's many flyers around. They can call the number on that flyer there. They can come here to the church. I know many people are local coming in, and the cell service, the phone service is not really that good. So come to San Andreas, to the Community Covenant Church, our disaster relief unit there. Come in the office. We'll be happy to take their information. If they see an orange shirt out, if they see a team out and it's working, please stop and say, how can I receive help as well? Those team leaders have those work orders with them, blanks. They'll fill one out with them right there. We send an assessor out to see their job site, to see what we need, what size team, and the tools we need to work through that. We provide all tools and equipment that we need to do that. Note when I say equipment, everything we use is a piece of equipment. The sifters is a piece of equipment, so we have no heavy equipment, machinery that we're using, but we provide all that as well. So there's many ways to get in touch with us. Come and see us, and we'll be happy to help you.
Great. Can you give me an idea of how many homeowners have signed up to receive your services at this point?
Yes, currently right now we have 170 that have signed up to have us assist them. Right now we're looking at about 35 of those that have been taken care of, and we're out working today. So hopefully in the days coming, with the volunteer numbers coming up, and we want to talk about that as well, the need of volunteers. So please, if you can come and volunteer, the volunteers is our most important resource. We can't do what we do without them. So please come and join us. We have plenty of work to do. We'll be working every day, and we'd love to have you.
Great. There's one other piece of this pie that I want to make sure people understand, and that is when you come and volunteer here through Samaritan's Purse, you're not only helping the local residents out in their time of need, you're also helping the county with the 6.5% of this disaster relief fund that we're still on the hook for, let's say. So let's talk about that just a little bit.
Okay, Samaritan's Purse, we are a national VOAD member. We're members of the VOAD, which is Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster. We work well with FEMA. We've done this many, many years. So Samaritan's Purse, we track every hour, every volunteer hour that is put in here. And I know before today, we had over 2,000 volunteer hours is already put into San Andreas and Calaveras County. So what that means to this county is what they have a share pay. We turn this over to local officials and those folks that are going to be formulating this information for FEMA. We have that on a spreadsheet for them that they can use with all the information that they will need for that. Every hour is tracked, and they can turn it into FEMA, and then FEMA makes the decision on the share pay with the county.
Great. That's really wonderful to hear, because I don't want to pay any more for this than I have to, quite frankly. Absolutely. So is there anything that we haven't covered that you feel is important that we should cover before we end this interview? Not
at all. I think you've done very well. I just want to stress a couple of points. First and foremost, what can you do? The number one thing we do is we covet your prayers. Please pray for our volunteers. Pray for the homeowners here. Pray for those out working for safety. There's a lot to pray for. We covet those prayers. We encourage you to come and volunteer with us. We'd love to have you come and share in this experience and see what the Lord's doing here. And we just look forward to serving with you.
Great. Well, Tony, thank you for talking to us today. Thank you for being at Calaveras County. We really appreciate the help that you're offering and the hope that you're bringing. And I hope that the homeowners out there will contact Samaritan's Purse, take advantage of their offer of help. They'll help you sift through your belongings and get ready for the next process, which would be the debris taking away. And volunteers, please come here and volunteer. What I saw yesterday was an amazing, it was just an amazing demonstration of people helping people, not only just to sift through the ashes for personal things. One of the things they did find yesterday was the handprint, the son's handprint he took when he was 4 years old, which is more valuable than anything else probably they could have found on the property. But it's an amazing experience. It's amazing to be part of that, and I encourage you to please come and volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.